Yeah.
2 there. How's that? All right, turn to your neighbor and say, we really don't know why. Okay, so here's the deal. This is supposed to be kind of a loose type of thing. You guys seem like a little like formal and whatever. You know, this is not, this is supposed to just be a really fun time. I mean, obviously there is a very sacredness and a holiness about what we're doing here, not just saying this is just some big yuck 'em up. But there's a very relaxed atmosphere today as far as what's going on. We're just amongst family today, just enjoying being in each other's company. The word testimony means to give evidence of. And what you're going to hear are all these folks are going to come, and they're going to give their testimony. And what I do is, in Acts chapter 17, Paul is giving and sharing his life as far as to King Agrippa is concerned. And this is the pattern, and you're going to hear this pattern generally as far as folks in their testimony is concerned. Paul shared with Agrippa about his life before Christ, how he came to Christ, and then how God was working in his heart. And that's a three-part testimony. And so that's what I encourage people to do as far as what was going on as far as before you became a Christian. And I didn't ask them to air out a bunch of dirty laundry and a lot of stories and things like that. But then, how did you come to know Christ? What did that experience look like? And most importantly, what is God doing in your heart, in your life right now? How is God working? I think that's really the part that is really encouraging to me. And so Nick and Danielle Lido are going to be the first ones up. You guys want to come on over here? And Kenny, we're going to go to the... And we'll get Danielle over here. Danielle's this small little thing, and man, she just beats the thunder out of those drums, doesn't she? She just whomps on those things. It's like it's kind of hard to miss Danielle's over there. That's I tell you, let's come over here, but I've been told as far as the camera is concerned, I got to stay you guys over here. All right, so Nick and Danielle Lido. And normally you think about these guys as far as their musical instruments are concerned, because basically these guys, you just throw an instrument at them and they play it. It's pretty amazing. But I want you guys to talk about the kids. These guys foster as far as that. So tell us a little bit about the fostering, what you guys have as far as that ministry is concerned. And either one of you can go ahead and share.
I'll start. We've been fostering now for about 5 years. We started in 17, so we're still fairly babies in the whole foster care, being a foster parent system. But throughout that time, we've had 15 or 16 placements or children in our home in the last 5 years. So right now, as far as the kids that we have right now, we have 2 7-year-olds, 5, 4, 3, and 7-month old. So life is crazy.
Yeah, did you all just pick up what they just said? Stop and just tell them what you just said. Some people are just going, yeah, whatever.
So I have 2 7-year-olds, 5, 4, 3, and then 7-month-old. There, I did it again. A 7-month-old.
And did you get them over a period of 7 years?
No, it's all at one time. That's
All
usually
one
how
time.
it works.
They went from 0 to 100. Like that. Pretty crazy.
That's usually how it works. They call you, and then they're like, hey, we have this placement. And Danielle and I are some of the few that will take sibling groups. There's not many homes that will take sibling groups and want to usually just take one at a time like a normal person. So that's
Okay.
not us.
So Danielle, tell us about what you guys like to do when you don't have kids. And before you had kids, what kind of hobbies did you guys do? What did you like to do? And make sure you keep the microphone up. There you go.
We very much enjoy camping, and we also like to go on cruises, but we like to go on Disney cruises. So specifically Disney cruises. They're super fun. We also enjoy Drum Corps International, which is actually where we were yesterday, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's a professional marching band, essentially. Yeah. But we were down in Indianapolis for that yesterday. We drove in this morning from Indy to do that. We also like to spend a lot of time with family. We live pretty close to our family. Our family is about an hour and a half to 3 hours away. So when I say pretty close, I guess it's really not that close.
Close enough to visit, far enough away, be like, okay, time for space.
Wow, that's the biggest amen I've heard so far. All right, so we got testimonies, and testimonies is either they can read it themselves, or some people are just, it's pretty personal, kind of get choked up, and so we're going to go Danielle first, and Kelly's going to come and read Danielle's testimony. You can come right up here if you want to put it up there. That'd be great.
I grew up in a home where we went to church every weekend. I spent many hours with youth group, church camps, and mission trips. My faith was something that I never thought would falter. When I moved away and went to college, my church-going days started to slowly slip away. I started telling myself, it's okay, I'll just go next week. Next week came and went, and wouldn't you know it, I didn't go. After a while, sleeping in, catching up on homework, and hanging out with friends became more important to me than going to church. Fast forward a few years into college, and quite a few boyfriends later, I met the love of my life. Neither one of us really talked about our faith until it was time to start planning our wedding. It quickly became very clear to both of us that we walked away from something that was very important. However, we didn't see eye to eye on what our faith should look like. I grew up in a non-denominational setting, and Nick grew up as a devout Catholic. We took turns attending each other's church of choice, but we couldn't agree on which setting to raise any children we might have. Long story short, we agreed to disagree. He was going to remain Catholic, I was not. It didn't take long for us to realize that that choice was not going to work. After we got married, we started to attend a local church together. Almost instantly, my life was flipped upside down, for the better. I forgot how good spending time with the Lord made me feel. I made time each day to pray about anything and everything. We moved a year later to Scottsbluff, Nebraska. We really had to rely on each other and our faith to get through that year. At that point, it was one of the toughest years of my life. I was homesick. I didn't have any friends. I hardly got to see my husband due to our work schedules, and I found out I had a precancerous tissue in my body that even the doctors were baffled by. As I took a look back at each of those situations, it is now very easy for me to see where God was in all of that. At the time, it truly felt as if God had abandoned me in those moments. No one has ever said that walking with the Lord is an easy task. In fact, I think the more that you walk with the Lord, the more Satan tries to throw at you to get you to falter. Nick and I have always tried to put the Lord at the center of our relationship and in the center of our household. Whenever we lose sight of that, I start to feel a wedge where it doesn't belong. God has a way of making sure we remember that. I am forever grateful to have a loving God who takes me for all that I am. And no matter how many times I jump feet first into deep water that might be too stormy, He is there to guide me. God has put people in my life that I didn't understand why it was needed. He is using our home and hearts for children that need a mom and dad that can show them what it means to have a safe, loving, faith-centered home. I still pray that God continues to open and close doors where He sees fit. When I fully put my life in His hands, I am always fully satisfied. I'm very happy to become a member here at Cornerstone Community Fellowship in La Paz, Indiana.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. All right, Nick, I'm looking for your testimony, and I don't see it.
I told you to keep it.
I know. So let's go down here and see if it's down here. Again, talk to yourself about why is this guy in charge? Why is this guy? That's not you. Sue, did you pick up Nick's testimony?
I can get it on my phone.
Okay. Nick, You're going to have to wing it. Oh, you got it on your phone. Oh, all right, nice. Nice. Way to save the pastor.
Okay, so in teaching, we always learn there's a plan B. You guys have to give me a minute. I gotta make sure it's up here. All right, here we go. Hello, my name is my name is Nick Lito, and if you don't already know me, I am the guy that plays a lot of instruments that walks around with children attached to my hip. See also Danielle Lito. Danielle and I have been married since 2013 and together since 2009. In the time we have known each other, we have experienced many hills and valleys. What has remained a constant through it all is Jesus. Something you should also know about me is that I never used to be interested in walking. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Never used to be interested in walking with Christ and learning about my faith. I was born and raised Catholic, went through 8 years of catechism, was an altar server in the long, hot, super not so stylish robes, and was a part of music ministry in high school. To the outside eye, it looked like I was all in, but inside I was pretty vacant as far as my faith. Not only was I vacant spiritually on the inside, but I was lying to myself as well. It was very clear by my actions outside of that realm that I did not aspire to walk with Jesus and know my Father in heaven. Then I went away to college and drifted really far from anything that looked like faith. I went to Mass one time when I moved away from home and never went back. I would go to appease my parents if I was visiting home to maintain the outside view, but still, nothing was happening on the inside. And then I met Danielle. Everything I thought I knew about myself was turned upside down and over backwards. I got so upset with her, and we had so many arguments about beliefs that always ended in the same question. And I think I only got so upset because I knew I didn't have an answer, but I wouldn't admit it. She would ask me genuinely and open-minded, why is being Catholic important to you? Maybe she knew that I would stare blankly at her, and it would make me stop talking. Nonetheless, I never had an answer, and it would make me so angry. But maybe that anger was God knocking. Finally, God got through. In fall of 2013, I promised Danielle I would attend church with her, this was post-marriage, with an open mind. I quite literally sobbed in the middle of that service and have been changed ever since. God brought us to Cornerstone in 2020, exactly when we needed it, physically and spiritually. The teaching, home, and fellowship that we feel and have here is unmatched. These are God's people in God's home, serving God's kingdom, and that's where the Litos need to be. I believe wholeheartedly that God brought us together, knowing that we would challenge and spur each other on to serve his kingdom and know him and his love. We have been many places together and experienced much, but God has always been in control. I am humbled and blessed to be joining Cornerstone, where I will continue to grow in my faith and walk with Jesus every day.
Amen. You guys go ahead, seat. All right, we have